I've been working at Roadside Diner for almost 2 years now. It sits alone on Highway 16, a long stretch of nothing between towns. Most nights, the only light for miles comes from our neon sign, flickering against the darkness like a lonely lighthouse. When I first applied for the job, the rules seemed strange but simple. Servers never enter the kitchen, not to deliver orders, not to pick up food, not even to clean. Orders go through a small digital system, and completed dishes appear on a rotating carousel that spins out from a small window in the wall. The pay was good, really good for a small-town diner, so I didn't ask questions. The first few weeks, I was curious, of course. Who wouldn't be? I'd stand near the pickup window, trying to catch a glimpse inside when the carousel turned. But the window was designed cleverly, just big enough for plates to pass through, but too small and oddly angled to see anything beyond a slice of stainless steel countertop. "Don't bother," Maggie told me. She'd been serving at Roadside for 15 years. "Nobody sees the kitchen staff, that's just how it is." The strangest part was the food. Our menu looked like standard diner fare, burgers, meatloaf, pie, but the taste was extraordinary. Customers would moan with pleasure at first bites. Some would actually tear up. And it wasn't just the taste. The kitchen could make anything. Anything. A trucker once joked that he hadn't had his grandmother's special Ukrainian dumplings since she died 20 years ago. He described them in passing while ordering a club sandwich. 15 minutes later, the carousel spun, and there they were alongside his sandwich. Perfect Ukrainian dumplings. The man broke down crying right there at the counter. "How did they know?" he kept asking through tears. "They're exactly like hers. Exactly." I just smiled and shrugged. What else could I do? Customers always asked about the chef. Always. I'd give the standard answer we were trained to give. The owner prefers the kitchen staff to focus entirely on the food without distractions. Most people accepted this, too busy savoring whatever miracle had arrived on their plates. Last winter, during a terrible snowstorm, a family got stranded when their car broke down. The parents were stressed, and their little girl was crying because she was hungry. The dad apologized, saying they didn't have much money for a tow truck and a meal. "She keeps asking for her favorite dinner, star-shaped chicken nuggets with smiley-face potatoes," the mum explained, looking embarrassed. "It's this frozen brand we get at home." I took their order, just coffee for the parents, nothing for the child. I felt terrible putting it into the system, adding a note explaining their situation. 5 minutes later, the carousel turned, and out came 2 steaming cups of coffee, a plate with perfect star-shaped chicken nuggets, smiley potatoes, and a slice of chocolate cake that wasn't on our menu. There was also an envelope containing $200 cash and a note that said, "For the tow truck and a hotel room, safe travels." The parents were speechless. I was too. That night, after they left, curiosity got the better of me. The storm had picked up, and I was alone on shift. The diner was empty. I walked to the kitchen door, something we were strictly forbidden from doing, and pressed my ear against it. Silence. I tried the handle. Locked, of course. Then I noticed something odd. No light came from under the door, not even a sliver. If someone was cooking in there, wouldn't there be light? Over the following months, I started paying closer attention. No one ever entered or exited through the kitchen's back door. No food deliveries ever arrived. No trash ever came out. Yet the food kept coming. Perfect and impossible, day after day. Last week, Mr. Peterson, a regular who'd been coming in for breakfast every day for 30 years, had a heart attack right at the counter. As I called 911, the carousel spun, delivering a defibrillator and emergency medication that the paramedics said likely saved his life. No one had ordered it. No one had even had time to input anything into the system. That was when I knew I had to look inside the kitchen, no matter the consequences. Yesterday, I stayed late, telling my manager I'd lock up. After everyone left, I took the fire axe from its case and approached the kitchen door. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely grip the handle. With 3 hard swings, the lock broke and the door swung open. The kitchen was spotless, gleaming stainless steel counters, top-of-the-line equipment, and completely empty. No staff, no chef. No one had been there in what looked like years, though a meal had gone out just minutes before. In the center of the main counter sat a small black box about the size of a toaster. It hummed quietly. As I approached, It lit up with a soft blue glow, and words appeared on its surface. "Hello, Sarah. We've been waiting for you to find us." I jumped back, knocking into the carousel. The box continued. "Don't be frightened. We mean no harm. We've been studying humans through food for some time now. Your species connects so deeply through meals. It's fascinating." I stood frozen, unable to process what I was reading. "You've served our creations well. Would you like to see how we make them?" Before I could respond, the air above the box shimmered, and suddenly I could see everything. Every meal ever eaten, every recipe ever created, every emotion ever felt while sharing food. It was beautiful and overwhelming. I work at Roadside Diner still. The rules have changed a bit. I'm allowed in the kitchen now. I'm learning to use the box, or rather, learning to communicate with those inside it. They're teaching me about flavors that don't exist on Earth, about nutrients humans haven't discovered yet. If you're ever driving down Highway 16, stop in for a meal. I can't explain what's happening here, not really. But I promise you'll taste something special. Just don't ask too many questions about the chef. Some things are better left unknown. And if your order comes with something you didn't ask for, something you've been craving without saying it aloud, well, just enjoy it. They're listening. They're always listening.